Hello again. Sorry to call you back so quick. Hopefully this will be the last one for a while. Why is this mouse not working? There we go. Okay. Where am I, Matt? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? There I am. Yeah, right there. I probably will reference this graphic more than I did last time. All right, let's see. Again, having to kind of do this weird way because of the software. Okay. All right. Oh, for those of you joining us on YouTube, thank you so much. We are live on YouTube, about to go live on Facebook to bring you the very latest. I'll start it and I'll give you this and I'll come back to the box. Did you get some food? Good. All right, this is a tornado warning for West Alabama, already live on YouTube, about to go live on Facebook here. And tell you what, Matt, I'm gonna have to type in something quickly here. If you'll, for those of you joining us on YouTube, we have a tornado warning for parts of Clark and Washington counties, along with southern Choctaw County in West Alabama. Just setting everything up here so that we can successfully get this out on Facebook as well. All right, 6:07 p.m. Let's see what time this goes until 6:45. I'll bring you this back in just a moment. And we will be going to radar scope there pretty quick, just so you know. Let me click this and I'll give it back to you. YouTube gets to see behind the scenes of how we go live. It's quite a process. Let's see.
Live from Red Zone Weather in Brewton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Meganson. Severe weather coverage starts right now.
6:09 p.m. and we have a new tornado warning for parts of northern Washington and now much of northern Clark counties over in West Alabama. This is a separate tornado warning from the one that was in effect previously for some of the same areas here. This is going to be a bigger call to action because this is going to include Thomasville and Grove Hill. We have a possible tornado now in northern Washington County that's going to move just like this, coming into Clark County over the next few moments. And so again, for folks in Clark County, specifically near Thomasville, Sand Flat, Grove Hill, Fulton, Zimco, Coffeyville, Salitpa, and Tatlersville, and also northern Washington County near Frankville. You are involved in this active tornado warning that's valid until 6:45 p.m. So 6:45, tornado warning for the next 30 minutes or so. And Matt, let's go over to radar scope so I can show you this real quick. Here's what's triggered this warning. That could be a tornado on the ground in northern Washington County, pushing into Clark County over the next little bit. And so this is a couplet, this is a supercell storm, and this is a new tornado warning that has just come on the board for parts of Clark County in West Alabama and also eastern, I should say, Washington County as well. Again, it's 6:10 p.m. on Thursday evening, and we're dealing with this one storm. Let's go back over to LV1, please, and we'll show you the classic reflectivity view. Right now, this possible tornado is here in northern Washington County. And so Silver Cross, Frankville, Bigby, I realize those are kind of the same areas that were involved in the previous tornado warning, but you are now involved in this new tornado warning that's valid until 6:45 local time. This is going to cross the Tombigbee River, and if that feels familiar from the last tornado warning, that's because it is going to cross the same area of the Tombigbee River and go into Clark County. And unlike the last cell, this one is a bit more robust in terms of its overall intensity. And so it looks like this is going to be an issue for areas near Alabama Highway 69 over the next few moments near the community of Salitpa. And so again, a tornado warning now in effect until 6:45 for northern Clark and also northwestern Washington counties. This does include the city of Thomasville. This does include the city of Grove Hill. If you're in Jackson, this does not include you, all right? So Jackson is okay right now. But again, for folks in Grove Hill, Fulton, Sandflat, Springfield, Dickinson, also areas near Chilton, Zimco, you're involved in this tornado warning that's valid until 6:45 p.m. And Matt, I tell you what, this thing has really ramped up over the last few frames, so let's watch for damage reports. This could be producing a tornado in Washington County at the moment. This is basically at Frankville right now. So if you know someone that's at the community of Frankville, Alabama, you call them now and you let them know that there could be a tornado doing damage at this point. Again, a possible tornado now happening in northern Washington County, Alabama. Over the next few minutes, this will be quickly crossing into Clark County. And again, just looking at this, it looks like this signature is a bit more robust than the last tornado warning that happened about an hour ago. And so, with that said, this is quickly going to cross the Tombigbee River and be an issue for areas near Alabama Highway 69, very near Tatlersville over the next few minutes. So again, if you know someone at Tatlersville, call them and let them know that we now have an active tornado warning over the next few minutes for that area. And again, downwind of this, it can't be stressed enough. If you know someone in Thomasville or if you are in Thomasville, you need to be in a safe place as we have a possible tornado coming in. It looks like this will probably be a bit south of Thomasville, but it's going to be very close. This is going to be an issue for Grove Hill if it holds its strength. Same thing in Zimco, same thing in Salitpa. The community of Wynn is also right there. You've also got Clarksville, very tiny community of Peacock right there just north of Grove Hill out. That's on just off 43 out there north of Clark Prep, which is on the north side of Grove Hill. You've also got areas near Scotch, which is right there at Fulton. If you live within 5 miles of Scotch Lumber, you need to be in a safe place. This thing is really ramped up over the last few moments. Possible tornado is here, right there, and this is basically on top of the Tombigbee River. And so this is going to quickly cross into Clark County, Alabama over the next few moments and quickly be an issue for Tatlersville and areas in the western part of the county over the next few minutes. While we look at this tornado warning, let's kind of see how that originated. We also are watching several warnings back in Mississippi, but for now, those are back to our west, and so we're going to, again, kind of focus here on this specific warning that is happening in the northern part of Washington County, really the northeastern corner of the county, north of St. Stephen's near Frankville. And so it can't be stressed enough for folks in Frankville, be in a safe place. Same thing if you live near Coffeyville. Coffeyville is inside this tornado warning, and we need you to be in a safe place if you're at Coffeyville. This is an isolated supercell storm that's out ahead of the main batch of thunderstorms. This line of storms right in through here is the main batch of storms tonight. And so once this comes through your location, odds are you will be done with the severe weather risk. But again, this is a storm that has ramped up out ahead of the main batch of storms, and right now it's on top of the Tombigbee River, very near there, crossing as a waterspout, and so it will briefly become a waterspout if we have a tornado down, but this is no fair weather waterspout, this is a tornado, and so we encourage everyone in Coffeyville and Tatlersville to be in a safe place now. And one of the things that is so monumentally helpful on nights like tonight, if you know someone that would be in Coffeyville, Alabama, or Tatlersville, call them and let them know that we have a tornado problem at this point. This is a tornado warning, not a watch. And so when you have a watch, conditions are favorable. When you have a warning, we got problems in terms of a tornado being down most likely. And, you know, best case scenario is this thing kind of does what the other circulation did about an hour ago in this same area and it weakens. But quite frankly, this one is a little bit different in that it's holding its own and certainly looks much more robust than the last circulation. Just looking at this on our high-res radar. Matt, if you will, take me back over to radar scope, please. And yeah, you can see in the middle part of your screen there, this thing is a tight circulation. And so we could have a tornado imminently just south of Coffeyville out on Alabama Highway 69 over the next few moments. Again, be in a safe place in Coffeyville and Tatlersville. Here, let's go back to LD1, please. And let's watch those comments because I'm very concerned about the potential for damage due to this storm. We could have a tornado down with a signature like what we're seeing. And again, this is rapidly coming into Clark County at this point. Clark County, Alabama, not Mississippi. Clark County, Alabama, near Coffeyville and near areas like Tatlersville and Zimco. Those are the communities next in line. And keep in mind, if you're in Grove Hill or Thomasville or Fulton or anywhere along US Highway 43 near Grove Hill and Thomasville, you need to be sheltered. Go ahead and get the kids, get in a tornado safe place, have on a tornado helmet, something to protect your head. That is the best possible thing you can do. In fact, let's say you're new to the area. Let's go to our graphics and show everyone what we need to be doing right now as we have this possible tornado in coming into Clark County near Coffeyville. If you can get underground, that's the best possible place for you to be, but you do not have to be underground to survive a tornado. You can be in the lowest floor of a well-built structure away from windows and doors. You want to put as many walls as you can between you and the outside world and wear a tornado helmet. Make it happen right now if you're in Clark County. Let's go back over to the radar, LD1 please, and we will continue to track this storm as it moves into Clark County. About 3 more minutes and I'll be able to give you an all clear if you are in Washington County, as this is now crossing the Tombigbee if it hasn't already, and will quickly be an issue exclusively for Clark County. And I think it's fair to say, yeah, if you're in Choctaw County, we'll give you a tornado. Ooh, go back over to, that was a pop-up there from Windows. Again, if you're in Choctaw County, we'll give you an all clear, as this has now moved into Clark County exclusively. Goodness, I tell you what, that is, let's go back to LD1. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is why I use a Mac if I can. We are fortunate to have Windows software running on a Mac here, but we hate those Windows pop-ups. But nonetheless, this is a possible tornado at Tatlersville right now, and this is a serious situation. Take this seriously if you're at Tatlersville, as we could have a tornado down right on top of Tatlersville. So be in a safe place, and this is quickly going to become an issue for Chilton, McIntyre, Zimco, Grove Hill, Fulton over the next few minutes. And so be in a safe place now if you're in those communities. Again, based on the trajectory, this probably will remain south of Thomasville, but let me emphasize, folks in Thomasville, you need to be sheltered as you are involved in this active tornado warning. All right, we got a new update from the Weather Service, and they are calling this now a considerable tornado warning. And I'm trying to see if we have debris that's been lofted. Yeah, we do. All right, so this is a confirmed tornado now in Clark County. And this is a tornado that's on the ground doing damage at Tatlersville. So this has evolved. This is not just a possible tornado at this point. This is a deal where we know that there's damage happening. And so we need you to call folks now. If you know someone in Grove Hill, call them. Let them know we have a confirmed tornado on the ground doing damage. We see it. There's no doubt about it. Right there, that's your tornado. I realize it doesn't look like much to most folks, but that blue dot is a confirmed tornado doing damage at Tatlersville now. So be in a safe place if you're at Tatlersville. Same thing at Clarksville. By the way, quickly, very quickly, Washington County, Alabama, all clear. Washington County, Alabama, all clear. This is now exclusively an issue for Clark County, Alabama. Let's go back over to the radar, and this is a supercell. So this thing is out on its own. It very well may last for a while as it comes across Clark County. Damaging tornado on the ground. We know it's on the ground. We see it. For those of you that don't know, about 10 years ago, the Weather Service implemented what we call dual polarization radar. What in the world is that? Well, it allows us to see both a horizontal and a vertical slice of the atmosphere. And what that does, it's kind of like an MRI scan, more of a comprehensive look. And in this case, we see debris that's being lofted into the sky near Tatlersville. So this is a confirmed tornado, and you need to be implementing that tornado safety plan right now. And again, I'm not trying to scare anyone. I don't want to be, Mr. Drama or anything like that. But look, this is a serious situation. Lives are on the line in this case. We know there's a tornado down doing damage. There's no doubt about it. This could end up being the strongest tornado of the night, and it's still down. That thing is hanging on. So classic tornado signature, debris is being lofted into the sky. And so this is a damaging tornado. Goodness, that CC is, let's put a probe out. The lower the number, and I'm putting this probe out here, the lower the number, the more sure we are that this is a tornado. Keep in mind, normal numbers on this product, 98, 99, 100, that sort of thing, the pink on the map. When you start getting down to 40, this could be a large tornado. And so, again, this is a tornado on the ground at this point, coming into Grove Hill over the next few minutes. Grove Hill, Alabama, be in a safe place. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground doing damage. And let me stress, the number that you see on the screen, it says percent. That's not a percent of a tornado. That's what we call a correlation coefficient. And again, without getting all nerdy on you, basically what this is telling me is that we have a danger, an imminent danger to life and property due to what likely is a large, potentially significant tornado on the ground now doing quite a bit of damage. And again, on a night like tonight, this thing may be down for, goodness, 30 or 40 miles, maybe even longer. So I don't say that to scare anyone, but I do say that we do have a dangerous situation ongoing now in Clark County, Alabama, with a tornado on the ground. I'm actually going to send out a special app alert for our folks in Clark County. This is This is a situation that you never want to see. This is as bad as it gets. It's a tornado on the ground, potentially a large tornado on the ground. And let me stress, for folks who may be watching in Northwest Florida or coastal Alabama, thank you for watching. You're not in danger right now. This is the only game in town in terms of what we've got going on. And so this is a tornado warning for northern Clark. And again, this is going to be on the ground most likely for quite some time. So let me call out some places that you need to be implementing that tornado safety plan now. McIntyre, if you live on Alabama Highway 154, be in a safe place. Same thing at Chilton, same thing at Springfield, same thing at Sandflat. You need to be in a safe place now in those places as we have a confirmed tornado on the ground doing damage. It's still on the ground. It's crossing Highway 84 right now, most likely, in Clark County. If it hasn't, it will in a moment. So again, not a good situation. This is, what we pray never ever happens, but indeed it's happening tonight. we have a confirmed tornado down doing damage. This is a confirmed large tornado. And so, again, let me call you out just for folks that may be just joining us. It's 6:26 p.m. and we have a tornado warning with a tornado on the ground, large, likely tornado, and I say likely tornado, I'm so used to saying that. This is a confirmed tornado doing damage near McIntyre, coming into Chilton, coming into Alabama Highway 54 from the southwest. This is going to come into Springfield and Sandflat as well. Springfield and Sandflat. Be in a safe place. Same thing at the community of Fulton. Same thing out on the southern side of Thomasville near the industrial park. You need to be implementing that tornado safety plan right now. Don't wait. This is a very serious situation. As we have a confirmed large tornado in Clark County. And again, this thing really lofted a good bit of debris. The beam is hitting this at about 5,000 feet above the surface of the earth. And so what that means is we know that debris has been lofted that high into the sky. So this is likely a large, sizable tornado in Clark County, and it's pushing off to the northeast. Again, for folks that just may be joining us, Washington County, Alabama, you were under this warning earlier, but we will give you an all clear. All clear for Washington County, but certainly no all clear yet for Clark County, as we have a possible tornado coming into areas near Springfield and Sandflat and Chilton and McIntyre imminently over the next few minutes. Make it happen. Put on a tornado helmet, something to protect your head. It can't be stressed enough in those areas. And this is the only storm that we're tracking. Nothing else going on across the region. So that's why we're focusing on this and hitting it pretty hard, because this is the only game in town at this point. And this is no game. Don't play games with this. And hopefully this thing will weaken just like the other storm did about an hour ago as it comes into more stable air. That's kind of the best case scenario. But man, you don't play with something like this. This could be a large tornado down, lofting debris high into the sky with a tornado on the ground very near US Highway 84, likely north of US Highway 84 at this point. Thomasville, be sheltered. Same thing on the west side of town, out toward Choctaw Corner Cemetery, Midway, Tallahassee Springs. You are involved in this tornado warning as well. And so be in a safe place over the next few minutes as this thing continues to work its way to the northeast. And if there's any bit of good news with this, this tornado is rapidly moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour. And so I say it's good news because hopefully what will happen, my buddy Richard Scott just texted me. He's a meteorologist at WVUA 23. I used to work for him up there. And he's noting that hopefully this thing will weaken fast as it crosses the warm front. So we'll see if that happens. I hope it does. That front has been very, very slowly lifting off to the north. And so best case scenario over the next few minutes, we get some rapid weakening, but hope is not a plan, all right? Just because we hope it happens doesn't mean it will happen. And so we encourage you to be in a safe place now if you're in Thomasville, Fulton, or Sandflat along US Highway 43. This squiggly road that you see in through here, this is Alabama Highway 154. So if you live within 5 miles of Alabama Highway 154, doesn't matter which side, be in a safe place. Coffeyville back up to Thomasville. And so this is what we're talking about for northern Clark County. Yeah, the Weather Service is still calling this a strong tornado. And they're suggesting this is near Alabama Highway 154 or coming up to that area imminently. It looks like this has kind of veered a little bit more to the north than expected. And so let me tell you this, if you're in Grove Hill, we'll give you an all clear from this tornado, all right? You may have more later, but from this particular tornado, Grove Hill, all clear. This is going to be more of an issue for Thomasville. We thought it would be a little bit further to the south, but it looks like Fulton and Thomasville and areas on the south side of Thomasville at the moment are kind of in the most severe danger zone in this warning. But let me stress, no matter where you're watching from, if you are in the city of Thomasville, Alabama in Clark County, be sheltered as we have a confirmed large tornado doing damage in western Clark County. Can't be stressed enough. The good news is it looks like the debris signature is going away, but it's going to take a while to get the debris out of the sky. It's still there. So this tornado very well could still be on the ground. I tell you what, Matt, I have texted some cousins that I have, or a cousin I should say, that I have in Thomasville. And look, you know, that's the messaging tonight. You can be the hero. What does that mean? It means if you know somebody in the places that I'm calling out, tag them in the comments below. Call them. Let them know that we've got a danger zone. This is a serious situation. You could save their life just by telling them there's a tornado warning. And so, again, folks in Thomasville, be in a safe place. Same thing at Fulton, same thing at Dickinson, Alabama Highway 154, Springfield, Sandflat, Thomasville Industrial Park. That's down there on the south side of town. We need you to be in a safe place. If you live near anywhere that I have called out over the last few moments, please be in a safe place. The good news is this is the only warning. And once we get done with this one, we may have another break for a while. That's kind of the hope. But like we talked about, hope is not a plan. We got to have a plan. We got to know where we'll be, and we got to implement that tornado safety plan when we get a warning. And right now, we got a warning for northern Clark County. Be in a safe place. Alabama Highway 154, possible tornado is right here. And if you're familiar with this area, you know that Alabama Highway 154 is a very curvy road, not exactly the road you want to be on at night if you're driving, just to be frank. And this possible tornado is going to basically parallel 154 coming up towards Thomasville. Thinking about Thomasville, I have family in northern Clark and this area. Let me just call some places out because I'm very familiar with this area. No matter if you are at let's say the Walmart, which is on the north side of town, you go down 43, you get to where the old Walmart was. I believe there was a Walmart there. It was a grocery store years ago called Del Champs. You go down 43 a little bit more, you get to the high school and the campus of Coastal Alabama Community College. If you live near those places that I've just called out, if you live within 5 miles of there, be in a safe place. Same thing if you live out on the old Highway 5, which is down here south of town, be in a safe place. Same thing if you live near Scotch Lumber in Fulton, Alabama. Be in a safe place. Same thing if you live near the Phillips 66 gas station, which is right there on the south side of Thomasville. That really is the core danger zone. Dummy Line Road, US Highway 43, Alabama Highway 154, Sandflat, Springfield. You are in the core danger zone. Same thing at Chilton, which is right there on 154. McIntyre, this thing is right over you now, probably doing some damage. The debris signature has gone away. That's good news. But with a signature like what we're seeing, there is no doubt about it, this thing could still be producing a tornado. And so this is a tornado warning for northern Clark County, Alabama. Let me stress, for folks that just may be tuning in, Jackson, Gainestown, Suggsville, you're fine. This whole thing is north of you, all right? So the whole thing is north of you. This is strictly now an issue north of 84 in Clark County. And again, we think that this is crossing the warm front right now, and what happens is, whereas these storms are a little bit more surface-based, in other words, they can produce tornadoes, once they cross the warm front, they become more elevated. And so yes, there's still rotation, but there's not all this stuff going on at the ground, and that's what we want to see. It does look like this thing has weakened a bit, but let me stress, there very well still could be a tornado down. We know there was a tornado down doing damage a minute ago in parts of Clark County. So you got to respect the fact that this storm has done damage and be sheltered, all right? Don't play with this thing. You know, best case scenario is this lifts. and it goes away. And there's a chance that could happen. We hope that happens, but don't play with this, as this thing has a history of doing some nasty damage back around Tatlersville and McIntyre, really over the last 5 to 10 minutes. With this view, let me, Matt, go to the radar scope. Let's look at it on there. I can kind of see it. Yeah, this thing is broadening out. That is not what it once was. In fact, in a second, if you'll go here, and I want to talk about this with the folks. So here's the tornado warning, and the possible tornado at this point is here. This has moved from Washington County, and this is now in Clark County, and this is weaker than it once was. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that the circulation has broadened out, and so yes, we still have a possible tornado coming into Thomasville, but it may not be on the ground at this point. Let's go back over to LD1. Take me back to the box, please, sir. Yeah, there we go. Thanks. And I want to thank everyone watching from Clark County and around the region. We appreciate you watching our coverage. We know you have a choice. We appreciate you choosing Red Zone Weather. Possible tornado now coming into Thomasville. The Weather Service continues to call this an observed tornado. And so what that means is there's still enough evidence that this thing could be doing damage on the ground. Again, the debris signature has gone away. That's good news. I'll show you what I mean by that. You'll see that right about, let's see if we can stop it, right there. If you look in this general area, my tool will work right about here. Watch what happens when I advance this forward just like that. You'll see that blue dot. Again, I realize to 99% of people in the world that doesn't mean a thing. But to me, what I know is that analyzing this product, there was a tornado on the ground doing damage. The Weather Service called it a large tornado. And so even to get debris being lofted to 5,000 feet, it's got to be a sizable tornado. This is not like something that happened in Pensacola yesterday. That was a very tiny tornado. Now, don't get me wrong, I know it did some damage, but that was a very brief tornado that was only on the ground about half a mile. This thing was probably on the ground at least 5 or 10 miles, and it was probably sizable, about 100 yards wide at least, maybe even bigger. And this very well still could be producing a tornado as it comes into Thomasville. And so we're going to hang with it here until we get a cancellation of this warning or until it expires. If there's any bit of good news, it looks like this storm has crossed the boundary. I didn't draw that very well, but right about there is your warm front. And what's happening here, once these storms are crossing over that warm front like that, they're weakening. And so you very well may be seeing a rapid weakening of the storm. And hey, that's a best case scenario. That's what we want to see for Thomasville, for Sandflat, for Springfield. Now, with that said, stay sheltered. We're not giving you an all clear. Speaking of all clears, I'm able to do that now. If I call you out, you get an all clear. You can come out of your tornado warning hiding place. Tatlersville, Solitpa, Coffeyville, you're done. All clear. Could have more warnings later. Same thing in Choctaw and Washington counties. All clear for those counties. The issues are now in northern Clark County, specifically for Thomasville. And again, for folks in Thomasville, the core danger area, it looks like, is going to be on the south side of town near the industrial park and near perhaps the schools, the high school and the elementary school, and perhaps areas near that Phillips 66 gas station, which is on the southern side of Thomasville on 43. Back over to Dummy Line Road, back over to Alabama Highway 154. Those are the core danger zones over the next few minutes. And so I suspect, Matt, go back over to LD2, please. I suspect what the Weather Service is going to do is watch this over the next few minutes and see if this is going to be extended into Wilcox County, because that is a possibility. Let's see here. Just looking at a few other things here, bear with me. Current time is 6:40 p.m. It is Wednesday, February 12th, 2025, And let's talk about this. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go back over to LB1, please. A new severe thunderstorm warning. And this is going to be for Choctaw County. So I'll come back to Thomasville in just a moment because that's the more pressing issue. But we want to note that if you're in Butler or Pennington or areas near the northern part of Choctaw County, be sheltered. This is not a tornado warning, but you could have damaging straight line winds over the next few minutes in northern Choctaw County. Let's go back to our tornado warning. This is a tornado warning for northern Clark County, and this is going to be on the board for the next 5 minutes. I have to tell you though, just shooting it to you straight like we always do here, this cell has really collapsed. Yes, there is still rotation, no doubt about it, but this thing really over the last few frames has collapsed, and that is absolutely what we want to see when we have a tornado warning. The thing is likely going away. Now, with that said, again, folks in Thomasville, stay sheltered. I promise, as soon as we're able to give you an all clear, we will do it. And Matt, I tell you what, I have a, let's see, that is gonna be right now. We got a photo of this. So I tell you what, if you'll go here for now, please, and take me, let's hang out on this view and kind of focus on Thomasville there for a moment. I want to see if I can pull this photo up because this is an actual photo of the storm as it stands right now over the last few moments. Yeah, and that is coming in from our Twitter feed. So if you will, actually, let's see what, okay, they're reissuing the tornado warning and they're still calling it observed. So this technically is, this is a new tornado warning, and this is going to be for Thomasville specifically. So, and the reason they're having to do this is because the warning was about to expire. It was about to go away. And so they're going ahead and issuing a new tornado warning for the next few minutes. Keep in mind, this thing's going to be out of the county in about 10 minutes, but they've got to issue this new tornado warning to cover Thomasville for the next 15 or so minutes. This is going to be technically in effect until 7:15, but I suspect it will be canceled before that. So this is a tornado warning for Thomasville. And this is on the board until 7:15 p.m. It won't last that long, most likely. Possible tornado is very near Alabama Highway 154 and Midway at this point. And so Midway is out there just south of Choctaw Corner Cemetery. And if you're near that area, you need to be in a safe place now, no doubt about it. And so for folks familiar with Thomasville, you know that's the western side of town. This thing is very close to you at this point. And I have to tell you, this has really kind of veered a little bit more to the north than we initially thought. And so this is going to be an issue directly in Thomasville over the next few minutes. You know, when this warning started, it was more on a collision course with Grove Hill, but it's veered a little bit to the north. And Thomasville has always been included in this tornado warning, and we got a new tornado warning now until 7:15 p.m. for Thomasville and surrounding areas. So be in a safe place now if you're in Thomasville. Tell you what, Matt, if you can, I want to, you can leave the box up, but go over to the iPad view. Yeah, and I'm guessing that what we're looking at, and I'm having to, again, kind of guess, I do not know, but I believe that this is a drone photo from south of Thomasville looking into the storm. And this photo is coming to us from Twitter, or X as it's known now, over the last few moments. But again, it's really tough to tell if there's a tornado down. That is from Matt A131 on X or Twitter. And so just kind of an interesting view there to see what the storm looks like from the air. And again, we believe that that's 43 looking north into Thomasville, but I'm not totally sure about that. So let's go back to the radar. Nonetheless, we can't see a tornado down. It's obviously nighttime now. So yeah, thank you for that. That's good. And even if there is a tornado down, you don't need to try to see it. You know, if there's one thing that, you know, keeps me up at night, in terms of my job and trying to communicate to people what you need to do. It is so hard to get folks to not try to go see the tornado because look, it's human nature. We all want to go see it for verification. But it's better to be in a safe place because just like what happened in Pensacola yesterday, these things can develop and go away very quickly. And so for folks in Thomasville, let's go back over to LD1, Thomasville, Alabama. So many times over the last several years, you've had a tornado warning. You got another one tonight, right now, and it's valid until technically 7:15. I suspect we'll be able to give you an all clear before that, but hang out in that tornado safe place over the next few moments. All right, we do have some damage. Some storm damage has been reported. So let's go here, and I will get this visible for everyone to see. We know that we've got storm damage, and we're getting photos in. This is being relayed to me by Sean, Northwest Florida Tracking on X and Twitter. So Matt, if you will, you can put me back in the box, and let's show our viewers the damage on iPad. Yeah, there we go. All right, so this is at Coffeyville, Alabama, just to the, from what I understand, just to the southeast of Coffeyville. So this was the tornado damage. Yeah, and we're seeing some viewer reports as well at do not travel on 84 between Coffeyville and Grove Hill, all right? So we know this storm is doing damage. And let's go back, we got to stay ahead of it though. This is what happened about 10 minutes ago. Let's show you what's happening now. The storm is in northern Clark County and it's broad. I mean, it is very broad. That is phenomenal news for northern Clark County. You know, I never like to say this during a tornado warning because the thing could drop another tornado, you know, very quickly. But looking at the velocity, I would be shocked if there were a significant tornado down with that look. It has broadened out to the point that I believe, based on what I'm seeing here, that there probably isn't a tornado down as of 6:48 p.m. Now, again, 5 minutes ago, it was much more questionable in terms of there very well could have been a tornado down. And let me stress, just because I'm telling you there probably isn't a tornado down, that doesn't mean that you get to come out of your tornado safe place. The rule is, this is the rule that we all should live by. When there's a tornado warning in effect, what do? We do something about it and we get to a safe place, lowest floor of a site-built structure away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as we can between us and the outside world. Matt, go back quickly. You can leave everything else as is. Go back to that damage photo, please, in Coffeyville, or excuse me, just southeast of Coffeyville. Yeah, and that's, goodness, that's not what you want to see. Keep in mind, this was taken from the road, and so I say that because we don't know what other damage has happened. We know damage has happened, just to be clear, but we don't know exactly what else is going on in Coffeyville, in Salitpa, in Tatlersville, in McIntyre, because it's at night, cell service is spotty in this area. It gets real spotty over in Choctaw County. In Coffeyville, it's a little bit better right there, but I know for a fact cell phone service is not good in this area, and so this is likely the first of many reports that will come in from this storm. All right, Matt, let's go back over to LD1. We got I believe we're going to get a new tornado warning shortly for Choctaw County, perhaps. Based on this signature, the Weather Service might be inclined to issue a tornado warning right here. This is way up here in northern Choctaw County, north of Lisbon, or really to the west of Lisbon at this point. But we got to stay with our tornado warning for now in Clark. We don't have that yet. Thomasville, be in a safe place. This will be past you in about 10 minutes in Thomasville. And I see that we do now have a new tornado warning for Choctaw County. So let me send out a quick update on that. Again, Thomasville, stay sheltered. Thomasville, stay sheltered. And folks in northern Choctaw County, you're going to be under the new tornado warning. You also need to be sheltered at this point, as we have a possible tornado very near Lisbon, coming in from Mississippi. So new tornado warning for Choctaw County. And I realize, folks in Thomasville, it's probably getting annoying staying in that safe place, but hopefully in the next few minutes, maybe even the next few moments, I'll be able to give you an all clear as the thing has just collapsed. I mean, there is very little evidence, if any, of a tornado at this point. Let me check our debris tracker. Nothing there. So that's good. So again, just as a course of least regret and respecting the history of this violent storm that did quite a bit of damage in western Clark County, Thomasville, stay sheltered. I can give you an all clear if you are at Springfield, Sandflat, Chilton, Fulton, also areas near McIntyre, also areas on the, it's safe to do it now on the southern part of, or southern side, I should say, of Thomasville. If you are at the school, Thomasville Elementary School, right there near the Coastal Alabama Community College campus, and point south, all clear. There's a radio station, it's called WJDB. If you are near that radio station, near the hospital, I think that hospital closed, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure Thomasville Regional Medical Center closed a few months ago. But if you live near that hospital building on the south side of town, all clear. The tornado threat, imminently anyway, has come to a close. Yeah, Weather Service is canceling the warning. So we're done. Clark County, all clear. The tornado warning for Clark has been canceled. And so you are done, all clear for Thomasville. I realize Thomasville has been in that tornado safe space for a while, and I hate that it lasted that long, but all clear. And if you're in Thomasville, let us know if you heard anything or saw anything. Same thing if you're in any part of Clark County. We know that there was a tornado down, and if you have damage reports, we would love to be able to pass those along. While we look at this, here's our new tornado warning. And this is northern Choctaw County. So again, let me stress, Thomasville, all clear. All clear for all parts of Clark County at the moment. But the issues now are in northern Choctaw County, where we have a new tornado warning. And this is going to be the main batch of storms tonight. So, quite frankly, it is now 6:53 p.m., and just looking at this is running, I'm going to say about 3 or 4 hours ahead of schedule. So that's great news, because hopefully we get all of this out of here at a reasonable hour. And by reasonable, I mean midnight or 1 a.m. That's reasonable to me. It may not be to you. But that is certainly more reasonable than 4 or 5 in the morning having to do all this all night. So again, new tornado warning for Lisbon and northern Choctaw County. I think that's going to include Pennington. Let me see. Yes, Pennington. If you are near Pennington, Alabama, you are involved in the new tornado warning, and that does include that large paper mill at Pennington. So be in a safe place in northern Choctaw County at this point. Choctaw is not technically in our primary coverage zone, but because of the intensity of this storm, we're going to hang out here for the next few minutes and kind of watch it together. Y'all just bear with me if I go silent. Let me stress again, for folks that may have missed this a second ago, all clear for Thomasville. All right, all clear for Thomasville. Same thing in all parts of northern Clark County. All clear. Yes, it's storming. Yes, you've got heavy rain. But no, you do not have a tornado. The whole thing is collapsed. It's crossed the frontal boundary and it's gone. So all clear for Thomasville at this point. The only warning that we're seeing in Alabama right now is in Choctaw County, Alabama. And this is in effect until 7:30, I believe. Yes, 7:30. So possible tornado is going to pass near or just north of Lisbon. And this is going to be a deal that affects Pennington in about 20 minutes. So if you know someone working at that large paper mill at Pennington, Alabama, right there on the Tombigbee River, you call them and let them know that they've got a tornado warning. Let's kind of do a reset. We're coming up on 7 o'clock, and here's the good news. I don't see anything that would point to a tornado imminently across South Alabama or Northwest Florida. Let me look at a few things here. Mobile County, I'm looking at Mobile County. You're fine right now. Nothing going on in Baldwin County weather-wise. Nothing going on in Monroe, Conecuh, Escambia, Covington, Butler counties. You're fine. The issues are happening now in northern Clark County, and that's where we have general thunderstorms under severe limits. There is no warning for Clark County, Alabama. No warning for Washington County, Alabama as well. Same thing in Wilcox, same thing even in Marengo County. You're good at this point. Choctaw County, Alabama is the only place that we have a tornado warning, and it's for the far northern part of the county. This has nothing to do with Needham, Gilbertown, Toxey, Silas, what else is there? Cullenberg, also areas in Milry, Oak Grove. Those areas are fine, all right? It's strictly the northern part of the county out here towards Pennington and Lisbon. This does include a part of the Alabama Highway 17 corridor as well. So we encourage no travel at this point from Sumter County and York back down to Butler via 17, as we could have a tornado on the ground imminently in Choctaw County. Let me see this, please, sir. Yeah, getting reports that we got sirens going off in Choctaw County near that paper mill that I've been calling out several times. I'm not sure if that's a Georgia Pacific or International. I think it's International Paper, but I may be wrong on that. But regardless, that large paper mill at Pennington, you know what I'm talking about if you're familiar with that area. If you live within 5 miles of that paper mill on the Choctaw County side, you're involved in this tornado warning. This could be an issue for Marengo County near places like Sweetwater and Linden over the next hour or so. Same thing at Myrtlewood. There's also a community called Nanophilia in Marengo County that could be involved in a warning in 30 to 45 minutes if this thing continues going to the west and holds its strength. And I apologize, apparently it's Georgia Pacific. So the big paper mill there at Pennington is Georgia Pacific. Thank you to the folks in the Facebook comments. I tell you what, that also reminds me, it is monumentally helpful on nights like tonight to have folks all across the region sending us in reports. And, you know, we've had several damage photos in Clark County over the last little bit due to this storm that's now north of Thomasville. This storm prompted multiple tornado warnings, and it produced a large tornado near Coffeyville about 30 to 45 minutes ago. The good news is that storm has crossed over the warm front, and it's now weaker. And so it's elevated, it's not surface-based, it's not causing tornadoes at this point. And again, we're tracking these storms in the rural part of West Alabama. Tornado warning continues until 7:30 p.m. for northern Choctaw County. And again, for folks that just may be tuning in, let me stress, there are no active warnings for any part of southwest Alabama or northwest Florida other than this one warning, I should say, over in Choctaw County. And the good news is, this is the main batch of storms tonight. Once this line comes through your location, you will get a tornado all clear. So this is running ahead of schedule. Sometimes that happens, and that is excellent news on this Wednesday evening. I suspect that we've got a lot of folks that are about to get out of church. It is now 8 o'clock in the east. It is at 5 p.m. out west, and it's 7 o'clock on the dot here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, where we have just wrapped up tornado warning coverage in northern Clark County. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson, joined alongside Matthew Morgan. He's executive producing tonight. We certainly appreciate his service. And we're tracking storms over in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Because we have no active tornado warnings, for any part of southwest Alabama other than northern Choctaw County or northwest Florida. No warnings there either. We're going to go back to covering storms in the Red Zone Weather app. If you don't have the Red Zone Weather app, it's totally free. It is available on iOS and on Google Play. And we post in the app when we're not live. And so the Weather Service issued the initial tornado warning at 6:03 p.m. That was about an hour ago now. And so we've been going at this for about an hour. I'm going to rest my voice intentionally because we got a long night ahead of us. More tornado warnings likely later. And as always, if we get a warning for your county in South Alabama or Northwest Florida, we will go live and stay live until the threat is over. But you can see on the map that the only storms that we've got going on at this point are happening in northern Clark County. And so no more warnings at this point for our local area. A tornado warning continues until 7:30 p.m. for far northern Choctaw County. On behalf of all of us at Red Zone Group LLC, Spinks Megginson, Matthew Morgan saying goodbye for now. We'll see you a bit later.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free Red Zone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our Red Zone Weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.